Hello, my friends. John LaRuffa here with another episode of Solo and Sold It. And in this episode, I'm going to do what I usually do, give you 5 games that I'm letting go of. But I actually have them here because I haven't quite sold them yet. I'm going to sell them, by the time you probably watch this video. Anyway, these 5 games are not bad games. They have just finished their life with me, okay? And so, anyway, we'll get started here. This is the first one. The first one is Chronicles of Crime. I've had this game for probably 5 years. I played it once. I recognize that it's good. I just don't think it's for me. And I don't know why. I've always been like, oh no, I want to finish it before I sell it. I want to finish it before I sell it. I literally haven't played it in 5 years. There's no reason for me to hold on to it. I'm not going to play it. It's just time to go. All right, number 2, another game that I probably should not have bought because I know this about myself. For whatever reason, daily Magic games just don't seem to resonate with me. They don't seem to stick. They don't seem to stay, and with some exceptions. The major exception, I think, is Siege of Valaria. I like that game. That's an interesting game in and of itself. It does something very unique. But the game I'm talking about here is Shadow Kingdoms of Valaria. There is nothing wrong with this game. It's just not that compelling for me to play again. I played it. I was like, that's interesting. That's cool. Forgot how to play it. It wasn't good enough for me to want to learn it again, play it again, in my opinion, right? And I just think it wasn't the right game. It wasn't the right feel. It was kind of right in that medium weight style, sort of been there, done that feel for me. And I knew it when I went in. I don't know why I did it. And well, that was my mistake. So it's got to go. All right. Number 3 is a game that really isn't a solo out of the box, but I found a solo variant and way to play it. And I played it a lot, but I enjoyed a lot more with more than one person, and I just don't play it anymore. And that's because the solo itself takes forever to set up, more almost time to set up than to play the game, and that's First Class. So First Class is a very fun game to play if you have a bunch of people, or even just 2 people. A lot of modules in this game, a lot of cool things. You get the feel of kind of, I don't know, it's like a ramping up kind of feel game where you can really do some cool stuff to score a lot of points. It's just that I'm never going to set it up to play it solo again, so it just doesn't belong in my collection. But it is a good game, especially if you have 2 to 4 players. I do like it. It's just solo. It takes so long to set up and sort the cards. It almost feels like you're doing that half the time you're playing it, and that is why I haven't brought it out in years, and so it's got to go. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is a game where I have played enough of it, and it's not bad. It's actually pretty good, but it's just not compelling for me to play it again. And I've played it a few times and scored okay, and it's just something about the loop isn't there. And I would say not that it all works really well. It's just not exciting. I feel like it's a little bit of a grind, and that is Evacuation. Now this game again has all the trappings of a good Euro, and it is a good Euro. It just doesn't fill me with the excitement that I want from a game of that much thinking. And I think it's because you're basically doing the same thing in different ways over and over again. And maybe that should be obvious from the theme and should be obvious from what you're trying to do. You're trying to evacuate the planet, but just how it goes about it is not, it just doesn't grip me. Now I played it like, 4 or 5 times, don't get me wrong. And it was a good game. It just doesn't seem to be screaming to me to come back off the shelf to set it up and try again. It's kind of like I've been there, done that. So that one's got to go. And final, my usual, oh my gosh, how could you sell this game? This is a great game. I know a lot of people love this game, but I, from a standpoint of the solo experience, feel like this game holds me up by my hair and just punches me in the face and gives me no relief. And I've never been able to come close to feel like I'm competitive, and I'm not going to relearn this heavy one again just to get socked around, and that is On Mars. And I do appreciate a lot of Mr. Lacerda's titles. Don't get me wrong. I love a lot of his games. I really do. And this game, it had a great theme and a great setup, and it was a good design. I just felt like I was getting clobbered all the time by the solo. And it was just not that much fun to feel like I was just scrimping by and barely able to make ends meet through the resources and just struggling. And I don't mind to struggle in some games, but this one just felt like it was too much. And I wanted to give it a second chance for like a year and a half. And I shouldn't say second chance. I've played it a couple times. But if I'm going to relearn or if I'm going to put in an effort on one of those games, you know, I'm going to pick up I mean, I love Weather Machine. I love Innovations. I really like Lisboa, and I've forgotten how to play Lisboa. And if I'm going to pick up one game again, it'll be Lisboa, Kanban EV, not on Mars. I just didn't find that the experience was worth it for the beating I was taking. So that one's got to go. Anyway, as always, let me know what you think of these 5 games. And again, none of these are bad. None of these are bad at all. They're just either I've played them enough, or they weren't for me and I should have known better. So thanks again for watching. I really appreciate everybody. And whatever you decide to do in the future, I really hope you have a fantastic time doing it. Take it easy.